Good evening, everyone. I'm Yao Tang. I regard myself as a very lucky person. Growing up in a very big city in China, I have always had access to many resources, including good schools, to various private lessons, from piano to tennis. However, China is so big. Millions of children live completely different lives. Just like this girl in the picture, love and hope are glowing in her shiny black eyes. We all know she should deserve the same level of education and care. But in reality, her future is not promising at all. Over 200 million children living in rural China have limited access to quality education. According to the statistics, nearly 80% of students from China developed urban areas will have the opportunity to attend college. But in poor rural areas, that number is only 3%. Can you imagine the big gap between 80% and 3%? So I always wanted to do something for those children. Therefore, right before I graduated from the States in 2011, I decided to join a nonprofit organization in the area of Chinese rural education as my first job. It is Teach Future China, a local NGO in Beijing. It supports and assists college graduates as volunteer teachers to teach for 2 years in rural schools. And this serves two purposes. Firstly, complementing rural teacher force and equipping rural students with knowledge and broader visions. Secondly, honing young people of Teach Future China to prepare them to be the leaders who will promote education equality in various fields in future. In September 2011, I was sent to teach at Beijing Tongxin Experimental School, a school established for migrant children that located at the outskirts of Beijing. What is migrant children? Migrant children came to cities with their parents who formed the main labor force in the city. But normally, they don't have stable jobs nor residency in the cities. Therefore, those children are not eligible for using the education funds provided by the local government and cannot attend public schools in the cities. That's why numbers of private schools for migrant children appeared in urban villages of Beijing. Here, I saw their needs for more and quality education. Moreover, I got to know the real lives of these migrant children. Please allow me to share a story with you. It's a story of my student. Her name is Xiao Li, second grader, 8 years old, coming from Guizhou province. She is a very lovely girl, different from other kids. She was always neat and well-groomed. The clothes she wore had the smell of fresh forest, and her hairstyle changed every day. Every time I went to class to teach the class, I had irresistible temptation to look at her. So there was one day I asked her, who dresses you up so pretty every day? She answered, my mom. But 3 months later, Xiao Li started to live at the school. What happened? I asked her. My mom went to work in a factory in Tongzhou, and she can only come back every 2 weeks. And my dad works in a furniture factory. He doesn't have time to take care of me. 因为小丽 was more sensible than her peers, an 8-year-old kid cannot take care of herself. She started to come to class with tangled hair and change her clothes only once a week. Sometimes when the weather is hot, she would get smell. It was a Monday afternoon. In my Chinese class, I smelled strange odor on her. I thought it was because she didn't take shower. But after 2 days, after all the small bothers finished taking shower, the odor on her got even worse. Other kids even said, Xiao Li smells so bad. Let's go away and not play with her. Something must be wrong. I decided to take Xiaoli to the bathhouse myself and figure out what had happened. In the bathhouse, Xiaoli didn't say anything, but she was a little hesitant when taking off her clothes. I looked at the pants she took off, and I was shocked. Pieces of earthy yellow lumps stuck on her pants. I finally knew what had happened. Xiaoli pooped in her pants 2 days ago, but she didn't know how to deal with it and didn't say it to anyone. In the past 2 days, she wore her dirty pants to go to classes and play with friends. I asked her, "How come you didn't say anything?" She didn't answer me and showed me a little smile, seeming to tell me, "Don't worry." In such migrant school, there is no professional care for small borders. From then on, I would put extra attention on these children, ensuring they could have regular meal, cleaning, and sleep. My friend, another volunteer teacher, Liu Xiuqi, who was teaching in Hebei province, faced more difficult situations. In order to maximize the use of limited education resources, the rural children are centralized at the schools in town, which are far away from their village home. So many students have to board at the school starting from 3rd grade. But 3rd graders are too small, and they always cry over the night in their dorms. So every night, Teacher Liu would brought a storybook to every dorm and tell a bad story to these little children. A simple bad story could make her students sleep quietly in peace and love. There were also a number of left-behind children in Teacher Liu's class. These children's parents went to work in big cities in order to bring more money back to home, but their children left at home or without company, parental care, and basic security measures. As volunteer teacher who will spend 2 years to teach either migrant children or left-behind children, we know our efforts are not strong enough to entirely change the situation these children are facing now. However, we are willing to try our best to deliver the most useful knowledge they need. More importantly, we will be there for them whenever they need us, putting seeds of love into their little hearts. Teach Future China only provided 6 volunteer teachers in 2009, while this year we have 170 people teaching in more than 50 rural schools across China. After finishing the regular work, those young teachers keep exploring and trying innovative yet practical methods to bring up the students in happy and confident ways. Math teacher Zhang Jing, she leveraged her art expertise to guide students creating their own picture book, recording village lives, stories, and natural beauty by writings and drawings. In order to overcome the lack of resources, she used everything, such as stones, empty bottles, dry branches, and so on. Everything can be the palace for art and creativity. The pictures showed here are all the artworks by her students. The seed put in children's heart by teacher Zhang is enjoyment of art. Chinese teacher Jiang Jinyu made diary recording into a 5-theme-based writing activity to inspire her students, having her students to write in this innovative way for 2 years. Teacher Jiang made those articles into a book under the help of one alumnus of BIMBA. This book, The Writing Childhood That We've Been Through, ended up as great memories for those children. And with the encouragement of teacher Jiang, 6 of those articles were published in newspaper. The seed put in children's heart by teacher Jiang is passion for writing. Math teacher Ma Huiming is good at inspiring students by games. The first is You Say and Draw, helping students exercise language skills and spatial imagination. By filling a form of appointment with teacher, his students learned how to make appointment with teacher to communicate. This is mini novel. Students practice storytelling skills by folding an A4 size paper into a small book. The seed put in children's heart by teacher Ma is sense of creativity. In this spring, Chinese teacher Liao Renyan and her students set up a small vegetable garden in school. They planted and plowed in teamwork, learning the whole cultivating process. Teacher Liao said, "The seeds that they planted into the ground are not vegetables. They are hope, dream, and love." I will never forget the words from the director of Qinglong Education Bureau of Hebei Province. He said he used to be a naughty village boy, having no sense of life, and didn't like study until he met his volunteer teacher, the so-called Zhiqing in Chinese, back in 1970s. From then on, he decided to live a meaningful life and make positive impact in his community and society. That is why he became a teacher and advanced his career in education. The seed planted in his heart 30 years ago has flourished now. His words made me think a lot. We don't expect to see the harvest today, but we just want to put some positive seeds into children's heart. Now, I would like to play a song to express ourselves. It is composed by our volunteer teachers who teach Future China. 'This 2-year experience has taught me more than any textbook or private tutors can. What I saw, lived through, and shared with is deeply engraved in my heart. 10 years or 20 years later, when we become the backbone of the society, we will lead the society, the world, to be a better place. And at that time, I believe all the seeds will sprout nicely eventually. Master Lu Xun had said, "Many people from afar are related with us." We believe all the rural children also related with us. and they are important. Hope each one of you, my dearest friends, could join together, support Chinese rural education. Thank you.